Hey, what is up you guys? So today I'm going to be photographing the Orion Nebula at 500 millimeters. This is going to be my deepest astro shot yet, and I'm really excited for this project. We've got totally clear skies, as you can see. It's blue hour right now, and I'm just going to wait for it to get fully dark, and in the meantime, I'm going to go set up my tracker. Now, I attempted to photograph Orion last year with a Canon 7D Mark II. I had much less experience with astrophotography and came away with this image. While not terrible for a first attempt, I really wanted to try and shoot this object again with better gear and knowledge, so that's what I did. Alright you guys, so it is fully dark out now, and I am just getting the tracker set up here. I'm gonna align it with Polaris, the North Star, so that the tracking will be as accurate as possible. Tonight I'm shooting on the Canon R5 with the Canon 1-to-500mm lens. Despite having a baseline aperture of f7, which really isn't that great for astro, this lens is super sharp. Combined with the R5's 45 megapixels, you really have a lot of freedom to crop the image quite a bit without encountering any issues. I know some of you might be unfamiliar with the star tracker, so here's a little bit of an explanation. So as the Earth rotates, our view of the stars changes. As we spin around, we gain and lose view of a variety of stars and galaxies. This is the same reason why the moon and sun rise and set every day. Now if you've ever tried to get an image of the stars, you may have noticed that the stars seem to blur or trail in your photos, turning into streaks rather than pinpoints. The deeper you're shooting, the faster the stars streak in your photos. A tracker counteracts this by pointing directly to the North Star, as I mentioned earlier. Because of its positioning in our sky, the North Star stays in essentially the same location all night. Using an app here allows you to position the North Star where it needs to be in relation to the tracker, allowing for sharp photos. After letting my camera take photos for about 30 minutes, I came back with this raw file. As you can see, the image is incredibly noisy. All the little blotches of signal really interfere with the image, and the color and contrast are horrible. Not to worry though, because it took about 150 of these frames. I'm going to bring them into a program called Deep Sky Stacker and stack them to reduce noise. Alright, so I am here in Deep Sky Stacker, and I'm going to bring in the raw files to stack them. I'll just hit Control A to highlight all. Bring them in. Now I'm going to check all the pictures and register the checked pictures. I'll let that register and then I'll stack them. Alright you guys, so now that the files have been registered, I'm going to go to the Stack Checked Pictures button, click on it. I don't have any dark or flat frames because I chose not to take them. I've got 108 frames, and I'm going to hit OK, let these files stack. So the images have finished stacking, and this is what we're left with. So as you can see, this is a very dark image. So what I'm going to do here is go to the Luminance tab, bring up the darkness quite a bit, bring up the midtones, bring up the highlights, hit apply. And you can see that it's bringing up the exposure at least a little bit. So I'm going to make some slight adjustments here to get the exposure fairly neutral. So I have to do the least amount of work in Photoshop. This should be about good. And then from here, I can hit Save Picture to File. Save as TIFF image. I'll just call it something like Orion Raw. And then you can save that. In Photoshop, I used a combination of sliders via Adobe Camera Raw, as well as some curves adjustments. After running the image through Camera Raw nearly a dozen times, I finally finished the image. Though there's definitely room for improvement, I'm quite happy with the shot. I think I did a much better job of managing the highlights than my first attempt, and it was a really enjoyable project. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you enjoy the image.